Welcome, everyone. So today we're going to do something a little bit different. We are going to act as cinematic forensic investigators. What we're doing is taking a completely chaotic, high-octane rescue mission, but we're stripping away all the visuals. No explosions, no gunfire, no hand-to-hand combat to distract us. We're going to break the whole thing down using only its raw, unfiltered dialogue. We're diving into a transcript clip titled A Working Man, which features the exact kind of epic, hyper-violent rescue mission you'd expect from a heavy-hitting action blockbuster. And by doing this, we're going to see exactly how an action scene is constructed from the absolute ground up.
Okay, let's just jump right in with our opening line. I don't condone this behavior, my bank account does. I mean, it's absolutely hilarious, it's completely deadpan, and it just instantly establishes the mercenary nature of our protagonist right out of the gate. Before a single punch is even thrown, before a single shot is fired, we already know exactly who we're dealing with here. This guy isn't some knight in shining armor, right? He's a professional. For him, it's a transaction. And honestly, this single line perfectly sets the tonal baseline for the entire mission we're about to analyze.
Part 1, Making Sense of Chaos. Let's decode the action and figure out what we are actually looking at.
Now, when you look at this raw transcript, it is sheer, unpunctuated absurdity. Seriously, when you strip away the visual context of an action movie, you're just left with this frantic stream of consciousness. It's like a giant puzzle. And our job in this explainer is to take this tangled, messy web of panicked questions, brutal threats, and stoic one-liners and somehow piece it together into a coherent narrative. We essentially have to decode the madness.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that, incredibly, we can actually slice this seemingly random, chaotic dialogue into very distinct categories. You've got your threats, your tactical jargon, your panicked questions, and of course, the classic action one-liners. These four elements literally make up the DNA of classic action tropes. By organizing the dialogue this way, we can start to see the hidden structure buried right beneath the noise. It's not just random yelling, it's a carefully orchestrated symphony of cliches. And once you recognize this DNA, I guarantee you're going to start spotting this exact structural formula in pretty much every action blockbuster you watch.
Moving on to part 2, identifying key players. Let's see how our heroes stack up against our villains.
So, on one side of this, you have the antagonists, and their language is all about aggressive, hyper-violent threats. I'm going to cut your heart out. I mean, it's very clearly designed to intimidate. But then on the other side, you have our hero, and instead of matching that aggression, his dialogue is entirely composed of sarcastic, mission-focused inquiries. What the fuck is your real name, Levin? He is totally, completely unfazed. The villains are bringing all this raw emotion and rage to the table, while the hero is, just trying to get the paperwork straight in the middle of a literal war zone.
All right, part 3, the rescue begins. It's time for making contact as our stoic hero finally breaches the room. And this brilliantly illustrates the dynamic clash at the very heart of this scene. You have the panicked civilian pleading, "What have I done to you?" Nothing. The civilian is taking the threat extremely personally. They are absolutely terrified. And how does our mercenary respond to that? With complete cold focus. We're all just numbers, kid, nothing personal. It is just such a beautiful contrast. The civilian is experiencing the worst day of their entire life, and the professional is basically just clocking in for a very mundane, albeit violently messy Tuesday.
Naturally, this cold professionalism doesn't exactly inspire immediate trust, does it? I absolutely love this quote right here. Mid-mission, while bullets are very likely flying past their heads, the rescuee literally stops and says, "Yeah, I'm beginning to think that you do not know what you are doing." It is a perfectly timed injection of deadpan humor. And the hero's response in the transcript? He gives this highly dubious, "Don't worry, sir, everything's under control, I promise you." It's basically the action movie equivalent of a plumber telling you not to worry about the flooding kitchen while you're both standing in 3 feet of water.
Okay, part 4, firefight phase. The pleasantries are officially over, and it's time for tactical maneuvers. Now really pay attention to the chronological escalation of the battle here. At second 1, there's pure civilian confusion. Are they shooting? By second 5, the hero is barking out, "Stand my 6." At second 10, we hit the grim logistical reality of a gunfight with "Hang on, reload," which then leads straight into the frantic, urgent tactical commands of "Active shooter in there and shoot the place up, everybody lock." The dialogue literally accelerates as the danger increases, and it pulls us right into the middle of the crossfire. So the really crucial point here is how the hero manages this chaos while having a civilian in tow. Just look at the command, "Stand my 6." Now, that's standard military jargon for guarding one's rear. But the civilian, who is completely out of their depth, immediately asks, "What's that mean?" So the hero actually has to translate military doctrine into plain English on the fly, simplifying it down to a basic, "Follow me." It really highlights the burden on the action hero, right? Because they aren't just fighting an army, they're also acting as a heavily armed tour guide for someone who doesn't even speak the language.
Which brings us to the inevitable, brutal reality of the foes they are actually facing. Die, bitch. I think I killed her good. From an analytical, structural standpoint, the prose here is remarkably economical. It conveys intent, action, and grim confirmation all in a single breathless utterance. The raw, unrefined grit of the source material stands in stark and honestly rather humorous contrast to our very structured, scholarly autopsy of the text today. Part 5. The Action Climax. It's time for the grand finale.
Walk through these final 3 moments with me, because they're great. Step 1. We have a seemingly mundane question. What was that? Bluetooth? Our characters are suddenly confronted with an unknown piece of modern technology. Step 2. The horrifying realization hits. Is that a grenade? The mundane tech instantly transforms into a classic explosive trope. And then, step 3, the hero's wildly understated warning. Mind your ears. It is a hilarious rapid-fire juxtaposition. We literally go from a customer service tech question to a lethal explosion in 3 short lines of dialogue. And immediately after the dust settles, or actually, scratch that, probably while it's still settling, we get this frantic, breathless final line. You ready? No? Time to go. I mean, it just perfectly encapsulates the abrupt, chaotic resolution of the escape. There's no time to process the trauma. There's absolutely no time to catch their breath. The mission parameters have been met, the threat has been neutralized, and the bank account has been satisfied. The scene simply ejects us. Which leaves us with this final, genuinely provocative thought. Looking back at the raw chaos we started with, and seeing how it so neatly folds into hero archetypes, escalating timelines, and explosive punchlines, we really have to ask, is plot truly necessary when you have high-octane dialogue? We just completely reconstructed a thrilling cinematic rescue scene in our heads from nothing but disorganized, context-free shouting. Knowing this completely changes how you experience these high-stress movie moments. It proves that with the right underlying structure, the dialogue itself actually becomes the action. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I really hope you walk away looking at your favorite action scenes in a whole new, highly analytical light.
Hello, Hollywood movies lovers. Welcome back now. Stories, movies, and convert movie to story and watching for full story. Thank you for hey YouTube, this my short. I am participate this clip. Okay, no mass content vision. Hey guys, please support for more and thank you for last beginning last action movie watching now.